This video fleshes out what it means to tell a story through visual rhetoric. I was afraid the idea of telling a story through a graphic might be a little nebulous, and I hope this video will clarify what that can mean. In this infographic, the network of your brain is depicted as a subway map. I had to zoom out so you could see it as a single image, so it's a bit difficult to read. But at a glance, you can still learn something about your brain's wiring. It's very complicated, yet it can still be mapped. That's the story of this infographic. Your brain is a complex network that transports information from point A to point B, but it forms a coherent map despite that complexity. Let's look at another example. Like many Americans, I've been interested in the federal budget deficit for the past few years. What's the story or overall impression of this infographic? To me, it's that the federal government makes crazy financial decisions. That's an oversimplification, of course, since there are many arguments justifying deficit spending as there are critiquing it. So, after thinking through it a bit, the story of this graphic becomes putting the federal budget in a different, more familiar perspective, that of a family household budget. In this next example, we see the federal budget presented in several different ways, creating a story of its intricacy. This is also an interactive graphic. So I can actually, as I move my mouse over it, I can actually reveal more details, adding to the complexity of the data. Finally, this interactive graphic allows you to see which candidate each state voted for. The story is how the country shifted its votes from one election to the next. And if you want to dig deeper into the story, you can actually look at how each individual state shifted its votes. So when I get all the way to the bottom here, it becomes a little easier to do that. If I look at California, for example, that highlights the specific streams showing their shift in votes, from Eisenhower to Nixon to over to Johnson and so forth. Each of these examples that we've looked at can be interpreted in multiple ways, and you may think each of them tells a different story than what I've proposed. The important thing is that your infographic, graphic, or visual rhetoric tells some kind of story, gives some kind of dominant impression, and achieves some kind of purpose.